Come join Libby and Molly, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we build a resourceful community of collaborative resellers.
Hey y'all, welcome to episode 86 of Consignment Chats. One of our favorites, it's Samantha Speaks. And she's here to talk about, gosh, this one should be Samantha's Adventures.
Okay.
Right? How are you ladies doing?
I'm great. I'm excited to hear Samantha speak. I'm going to be honest with you.
I know. So I have to start off because you know how I am about authenticity. That's my soapbox. I have to be authentic and truthful and real. This is the second recording of episode 86 because my computer ate the recording of our original episode 86, which we recorded prior to Samantha going on vacation. So because my computer ate it, we're now recording it all over again. And now it's after Samantha went on vacation. So
I mean, we knew this was going to happen at some point. There was going to be some kind of, and it's been almost 2 years, and this is our first real disaster, but
right.
We're in disaster recovery mode. And
yes.
Samantha, it ain't want nothing but a thing, right? Because it's not like it was that much trouble for you to shoot the first one. It's not like you were walking out the door to leave on your vacation and trying to pack up. I mean, it was no problem for you, right?
I mean, y'all, literally, she was recording to the last minute to get in the car and go on vacation. And we said goodbye and she got in the car and left.
Yep.
And then my computer ate it. So.
And then I just got back yesterday and she said, guess what?
We're so sorry that happened.
We're going to bookend your vacation with Consignment Chat. So there you have it.
We have a lot to talk about for the vacation.
Know.
Yes.
So, I want you, what do you think, Libby? I'm going to let her take the lead. I think you should tell us, because I know we had talked pre-vacation about some things that you had in the works. So,
and I'm going to jump in and interrupt anyway. So go ahead, Samantha.
And I'll talk over you if you don't let me talk anyway. So it's fine.
That's all right. I mean, we all just say what we want to say anyway.
So I was getting ready for my anniversary trip with my husband. We were married for 10 years. And we took a little couples trip because it's been a long time since we had a vacation like that. And in true Sorting with Samantha fashion, I made some shady deals along the way. So I say shady deals because that's what my family used to call them shady deals. My family used to say that all the time. They're like, oh, people are picking up stuff from your front porch or you're meeting people at Walgreens, because that didn't used to be normal pre-pandemic. That was weird.
Right.
So we were getting ready for our trip and I had some TVs. They were just little, I think the screen was 5 inches, and they took quarters. They plugged into the wall and they would not turn on unless you put a quarter in. And we didn't leave them on to test it, but we're pretty sure they lasted for about 20 or 30 minutes once the quarter was in. Found out through our community that they used to be at bus stops and train stations and things like that. So my consignor had got them from a resort clean out that she was at, and they were new in box. There was only one that had been kind of gotten into, and that one didn't turn on. Everything else seemed to work, but it just wouldn't turn on. So I had listed the broken one and a working one as a set, kind of with replacement parts on eBay. And a gentleman reached out to me the night before we went on vacation. I'm talking midnight. I, for some reason, was still up with anticipation of leaving and went back and forth talking with this guy for a couple hours. Told my husband at 3 a.m. that this guy lived in Maryland and we would be driving right by him on our vacation, and that I had somewhat volunteered for us to bring these TVs along on our vacation. So I reached out to my consignor because she had other ones. We were just going to list them kind of one at a time, and there weren't any other ones listed on eBay. But I did let him know that we had 6 in total and that I just needed to test them, and he was interested in all of them. So we made a deal and I packed them all up, and I said, worst case scenario, I'm going to wander around with these TVs at a flea market trying to sell them to somebody in Virginia, which I almost thought was going to happen. It got a little sketchy. So we made a deal, and we didn't do it through eBay. We were messaging through eBay, but we just ended up doing it off there because there were so many other variables, and not knowing where we were actually going to meet or how this pickup was going to go. And so we just took it off of there. We did part cash, part Venmo, and it all worked out. But we drove through Michigan, through Ohio, through Pennsylvania. I met Libby, and we had dinner together. We got to meet in real life. It was great.
Oh my gosh. Highlight of my C Chats career right here.
And I got to meet Michelle, who lives down the road from her, which was awesome. You guys are both fantastic.
Oh, we felt the same. You know, like usually when you meet somebody, you just don't know. Like when you meet them in real life, you're even better in real life. You're great on camera and through a Zoom, but like way better in real life.
That's what I think about you. It was awesome.
Oh, I love this.
Fun.
And your dog didn't even bite my husband. It was great. It was.
Wow.
Her husband walks in, picks up the dog. I am this dog's favorite person. I can't even pick him up. I would turn around the corner and Bill has the dog in his hand. I'm like, he didn't bite you? Like,
oh my goodness.
He just likes dogs. We left him alone for 2 seconds.
He's clearly Bill's alpha with the Chihuahua there, huh?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Love it.
So we had our dinner and did our little visit, and then the guy, we weren't supposed to meet him until the next day. He changed his mind and wanted to meet that night. So we had a rushed visit. We just visited for a few hours, and then we drove the rest of the way through Pennsylvania, south into Maryland, almost to Baltimore. We were like the outskirts of Baltimore, and met him at 11:30 at night in a university parking lot because it was a well-lit. He had it all like planned out on where we could go, and he wasn't even from the area. He was traveling as well. It was quite strange. But we had him. I even have an outlet in my car. I had a little adapter so he could have tested him there if he wanted. He opened up all the boxes. He looked at them. We didn't test him. It was weird. He wouldn't tell me what he was going to use them for.
That's what
we all wanted to know.
And at first I thought he was going to be an older guy. He was not. He's my age. And he seemed really nice and everything. It went fine. But he kept saying like, so if I get them home and they don't work, like I can reach out to you, right? And I'm like, well, we can test them right now. And I sent him pictures of all of them plugged in together and working, so you could see it wasn't just like one TV or whatever. And I really thought he was gonna, fingers crossed, it's been over a week, but I really thought he was gonna like reach out and be something shady, but it's all paid for and it all worked out.
And we kept saying no idea what he's doing with them.
I told him I did consignment and that I resell stuff, and I was upfront with him. I told him he could get twice the money that he paid for these things if he wanted to take the time to sell them, but I was in for the quick flip and vacation money, and it worked out great. And he just said that he liked to tinker with TVs. He's been getting into tinkering with old electronics. And I said, yeah, but you bought 6 of them. Like, you're just going to tinker with 6 of them? Like,
there's more to that story.
He didn't want
to
to
out there
me.
In the C Chats community. If anybody comes across these or you know anything about this, please message us.
Yes,
definitely.
There's
and if you're not in the community, you haven't seen the pictures Samantha posted of the TVs, of the parking lot where the deal went down.
You need to see it. You need to get over into our community for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, so vacation was interesting. My husband is an extremely good sport, sitting through dinner with us blabbering about consignment and then doing shady deals at almost midnight in a random state. And we went to so many flea markets and garage sales. He is fantastic. But overall, it went very well.
Love it.
Wow. So when you were leaving for vacation, you put it on vacation mode, but now you put eBay on vacation mode and you took your items down, or you put your Shopify website, like you turned your items off. I don't know what the proper terminology is for that.
Yes.
But
So Shopify doesn't have a vacation mode, which if anybody from Shopify is watching, you really need one because it is fantastic on eBay. It was so easy. There's lots of groups and articles out there just to walk you through the quick couple settings. You put in your dates. I set it to go into effect the day before I left so that everything would be shipped and done. And then I had it shut off on the Saturday. We didn't get back until Sunday night, but I had it shut off Saturday morning or Friday night because then my shipping, even with 1 day handling, wouldn't come into effect until Monday anyways. So I sold more things over the weekend because it was off of vacation mode. I still did well. I didn't do as good as if I'd have been home and listing and everything because I didn't list very much while I was gone. But I still sold quite a few items. I had lots to ship yesterday. Shopify, because I don't have a vacation mode, I had to put a password thing on my website. So if somebody went to my website, it just said it was closed and I put that we were on vacation, it would reopen on the 14th. It did have a thing where people could enter their email addresses if they wanted updates and to sign up for my newsletter. I don't have a newsletter, so I have people that signed up for that. And I really need to make that a priority.
So the people, when they signed up for your newsletter, did it put them in your customer like database on Shopify?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. So you have a expanded customer base now.
Yeah. And then I'm not sure if it was going to tell them when I put the website back up, because I did it. We were driving through Chicago on Friday and I had stopped at some consignment stores on the way through like Indiana and stuff and had told people I'm from Story with Samantha. I came to check out your shop. They were some of our community members. And I noticed while I was on my laptop in the car that they were trying to look at my website and it was gone. So I figured that was close enough for the weekend, especially since Facebook and Shopify and all that has like a 3 to 5 day handling, that I opened it back up then and people could resume their normal traffic.
There you go.
So that sums it up pretty well, how it all worked out for you. It sounds like it was pretty smooth there.
Yeah, when you put it on password protect on Shopify, it then says that you are not in compliance with Google, so it takes all your items off Google. And it also, I think, delayed things on Facebook and Instagram because they're all connected, which was fine. I didn't want people to shop and buy things while I was gone anyways.
Right.
So yeah, once I got back, I just removed that page with like 2 clicks and everything was back up and running. And then that way it didn't affect eBay because I didn't want to like close my store down on Shopify because then it would have taken everything I have linked to eBay off. So it worked out really well.
All right. I am so happy to hear that.
Favorite items from your sourcing? You were sourcing along the way? So I'm excited to hear all this because I'm actually leaving on vacation today.
Okay.
And I actually have the same kind of plan. I have to hand deliver something to somebody outside of Boston who purchased a pickup only 3-wheel rollator walker from us, but it was a local pickup only. But when I looked at where she lived, I said, we're going to be driving right by there heading to Maine. So we're dropping that.
Awesome.
We're doing a little white glove delivery also.
I love it.
So, and we're going to source along the way. So I want to hear about your sourcing on the road and listing on the road.
Yeah. So sourcing, I didn't pick up a ton of stuff, maybe 30 items altogether. Nothing like, oh my God. But I had so much fun at flea markets. We don't have flea markets here. A flea market to us is like once a year, some moms get together and have it in a gymnasium. So down there, when we checked into Virginia, well, we stopped at a couple in Baltimore. I love it. Shady parking lots behind some storage units. That's my jam. People were making deals. I loved it.
I can't imagine living without that.
I know.
Wow.
We don't, parking lot flea markets and stuff like that are just not a thing here. We have a lady who's been trying to do a flea market here for a while. She's got a couple indoor people, but it's not a thing. So we did a couple in Baltimore and then headed south. And when we actually checked into our place on Saturday night, I noticed this like little ghost town looking thing. It had a bunch of little cottages and I saw the covered tables out front. And I thought, that's flea market. But when you do a search, there's no flea markets in the area. It is counted as a farm market. So travel tip, look for farm markets. Most of them are flea markets.
Oh, okay.
There was literally one person selling vegetables. That's the only farm part that had to do with this at all.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, good to know.
Yeah. However, there were like 100 other vendors there. And instead of having like the sheds, like you see at a lot of them, or storage units, they had little cabins and they were all connected on the perimeter. And when it was closed up, because they were only open on the weekends, when it's closed up, it looks like a little ghost town. And then when they open it up, they can put their stuff out on their little porch of their cabin, and then they have shops inside. And then other people that aren't there all the time or lease a space can just come and do tables. And we spent hours there. It was so
Oh my gosh,
fun.
this sounds like such a neat place.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. There wasn't a lot of garage sales, which I was surprised. And I run a garage sale group. So another pro tip, garage sale season is really short here, like 6 to 8 weeks tops. And I run the local garage sale group on Facebook because we don't have really a newspaper anymore. We don't do classifieds. There's no way to know if there's garage sales unless people post them on Facebook. So I put them all in one central area so that every Saturday I can just wake up and see where every single garage sale is for that weekend. And
somebody should be in charge. It might as well be you.
Yeah,
I had to borrow that from my mom. I had to borrow that from my mom. All right.
I love it. So I was seeing all these garage sales being posted back home and trying to keep up and keep my site clean. And there was none where we were staying.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
But my mom said that some communities like that, they only allow them at certain times. And I think that's the kind of the place we were staying was they weren't random. They probably just planned them. And I told my husband the next time I plan a vacation, wherever we book our Airbnb, I'm going to ask them when their community garage sales are and book that weekend.
Base it around that. I love it.
All right. We are passionate people.
That's
passionate.
the girl. That's
so
the girl.
So the people, did you get to interact with any of the people that were at the garage sale doing the selling and kind of get a feel for, what kind of resellers they were or what their lives were like?
Yeah, so there were a couple sales that we stopped at that I only spent a few minutes at because they weren't really into the wheeling and dealing or the dickering, and I didn't like the vibe. So I walked right back to the car, and my husband's like, "What are we doing?" And I'm like, "These aren't my people. I don't like it." And the one that was there where we were staying, I spent hours because I was talking to everybody. It was fantastic. A couple of people I went into their little shops, and they're trying to keep track of their consigners. And I asked the lady, I said, "So how many consigners do you have?" And she's like, "Oh, I have 6. And it is such a pain." I said, "Yeah, I've got like 32 and I feel ya." And she's like, "You what?" But then we started talking about software and stuff like that. And I said, anything over what you have, you're going to want to start looking into spreadsheets. She just had a little notebook. And I just loved finding those little communities of people that wanted to make deals and sell. And when I would pick something up and say, "Oh man, my daughter would love this." And then they'd, "Oh, what about this? And I'll make you a deal." And that's my people. I like that.
My son and I, so we love to go out like for the day and garage sale and go to all the things. And the one Saturday we went out, it was like every garage sale we went to, these people were not having like garage or yard sales. They had like eBay things printed up next to their item with how much people were selling them for and how much, and that's what they were asking for it. And I was just like, at some point I was like, you know what? If you want to sell it on eBay and get an eBay price, then sell it on eBay. Don't have a yard sale and charge people eBay prices. You're not going to sell anything.
And
so frustrating.
I would put my money on it that the printouts were from things that were listed, not sales.
They were.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
Educated some people on that.
I've educated many. Like
I might have come off a little snippy at the one. My husband was like, "Honey, come on." But they had stuff and they kept trying to talk me. I was just looking and was going to walk out, and they kept trying to talk me into it, and really giving me their sales pitch. And Michelle, when I was visiting Pennsylvania, gave me this handy little thing for my phone. So I had it handy, and I pulled eBay up and I said, "Actually, sir, that's not what these sell for." And I showed him how to filter and what they actually sell for. And my poor husband was so embarrassed.
Well, if he was actually interested in selling, I'm sure he was grateful for the tip. And if he wasn't, oh, wow.
Yeah, he
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
offended, but
Yeah.
I still didn't buy anything. I didn't.
Right. All right. So here's a question. This is like a hotly debated topic. So when you're going out and you're yard sailing and garage sailing, what do you tell people you're a reseller?
I used to be really afraid of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more of a thing now, so it's not as scary. And yeah, most of the time I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do
If
too.
someone asks me what I'm going to do with it, I will be honest and say, "Oh, my daughter is going to love this," or I'm resell things for people, and I think that this is something that will sell. And yeah.
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 I
Yeah,
do.
I found I did this. I had the kind of the same evolution. I used to be like a little bit hesitant to tell people, but I found that now when I tell people, they're like, "Oh yeah," or "I resell too," or "Oh, my neighbor does that," or "Here, why don't you take this?" or "I have this. What do you think about this?"
Mm-hmm.
And it turns into something positive,
Mhm.
Yes.
and more times than not all the time. And if they want to look
Yep.
at resellers as like evil people, then we're not for them. We'll shop elsewhere.
Right.
Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
plenty
still
of other
buying their
people.
stuff. I know a lot of
Right.
people feel that way about like my local Goodwill. I would go in there and they know I resell. I walk
Mhm.
in and I look at certain things, and I used to be there every week. And a couple of the people that were working there were getting a little cranky. And I said, I come in here and spend
Mhm.
$50 to $100 every week. So
Mhm.
why is it any different than anybody else? If anything, I'm consistent. You're pretty much guaranteed that I'm coming in to spend that every week, and you're still selling your stuff. It's not like it's
That's the point, is to sell it, right?
yeah.
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 See, I really want to do an episode on this, and I want to pull in like brick and mortar consignment owners because I source at other consignment shops, and there's one where I can't, the owner I can't read. Sometimes she's very warm, sometimes she doesn't seem happy to see me, but she's marked her stuff down to 80% off, right? Like she had it there for 3 months and put it on her, and it didn't sell. So
Mhm.
much so that she's now selling it for $3, $5, whatever dollars. So
Right.
at that point, what does it, I want the other side to this. Having
Yeah.
worked in the store with Libby, if we're doing our job, we're pricing it properly for our consigners and it
Mhm.
sells. If it
Mhm.
doesn't sell, then you mark it down. And at that point, you just want to get it sold.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
else has the audience to buy that and turn around and sell it for a good price. That's fantastic because that item just got taken out of the landfill.
Right. Yep.
So I want to hear the other half of that, the thought process.
I
That's also
definitely do too.
Yeah, that's
And
also
like,
going to play into our roundtable coming up too about expiring items, because we will hear
Mhm.
part of that when they talk about how they're closing things out and the way that they get rid of things.
mhm.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I said I used to kind of wonder, like with places like Goodwill, that you think, people with low incomes are trying to come in there because they can't afford to go to the mall or go to even the consignment stores because they're higher priced. So am I
Mhm.
taking something away from somebody who otherwise needs that? But when I thought about it, I looked at my husband and I said, I've never walked into a Goodwill where there's only one size small blouse left.
Right.
And I mean, the bins are proof of, and the stuff that we end
Right.
up shipping overseas or putting in that's proof that it's
Right.
just
I am not taking the shirt off somebody's back. What I'm
Yeah.
doing is giving income to the company who's then putting it into helping get people, employed and working jobs. And so that's what I'm doing. So, yeah.
Have you guys watched the interviews? Rally Roots did one, and I can't remember the other guy on YouTube, but they are actually one of the Goodwill VPs from Florida. He runs like 52 of the Goodwills down there. He asked to be on these reseller YouTube channels, and he talks about how he encourages reselling. They actually have reseller memberships for his Goodwills, and
Oh.
it was really controversial when he wanted to get on there, but I actually really liked it, and I wish that more chains and things like that would do what he's doing and encouraging it.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch that.
And what I've seen more, because I go to them traveling around all the time, is prices getting jacked up because of resellers. And that then I don't like that, because then they are taking those items out of the ability for somebody with a lower income to be able to purchase that, if they wanted it. And, I hate to see them do that for resellers. Like, we're not wiping out your store and leaving you with nothing.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we've all been on both sides of that. Like, right. I have a certain, you know who he is, Molly, certain guy that buys from me all the time locally. And for, pennies on the dollar, he buys some items that I don't want to ship, and he's a reseller. I go over to my local antiques mall and I see this stuff there and I'm thrilled because his niche is not my niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like the guy with these TVs. I would have been perfectly fine if he'd have told me he was setting them up somewhere, and even he has an eBay account. You're going to sell them on eBay? I didn't want to store them for a year.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Libby.
Yeah.
I'll give you $50 if you say his eBay name.
I absolutely will not.
What is it? Oh, we gotta know now.
I can't give away privileged information. But also it's obscene. So
it is obscene.
Yeah.
It's obscene.
All of a sudden I have people like looking at my feedback on my eBay store trying to figure it out.
You better text me to that later.
Yeah, you'll get it. Oh, sorry. I had to throw that out there. Keep everybody going.
I was hoping that wasn't what you were going to ask me.
Of course it was. $50.
One more reason why branding is important, and you shouldn't have weird things for your names or emails.
Right.
When I was a manager at the hospital, the amount of people that would apply, but their emails were, that was a big, I wouldn't even call some of those people. Like,
yeah. Well, it's so funny. For years since I got my first, so my name is Libby, right? And my uncle always called me Libber. And so I had this email, Libber1 for whatever, but it changed throughout the years for years and years and years. And it wasn't until, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years into it, somebody said, oh, so you must be really liberal.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like I've had this for all that time. The first person ever said that to me, I said, no, my name is Libby. And they're like, oh. So
for different people's
think
minds.
about all the different variations of whatever your email address or your branding is, because it never occurred to me.
You need to put as much thought into that as you do naming your child.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, our stores are our babies.
Yep.
They really are, aren't they?
This is true.
So let's see. I went on vacation, I did some stuff. There was a lot of shipping talk in our group while we were gone, because we got that conversation sparked with a couple different conversations episodes. So that was good. I like that somebody had talked about, and it wasn't on a specific thread, which is why I want to bring this up. I think it was on like a welcome post. Somebody talked about lithium batteries and having to have a separate sticker for that. So I just wanted to remind people to make sure you're up on the rules and the different things with shipping USPS, and UPS is different, FedEx is different, and they have some different rules. So make sure people are checking on that, because it seems like a lot of people didn't know like certain things like that.
Yeah, I think the gist of it is you need the stickers. You need to have a warning on it, and you can only ship ground. So similar to what you would do for those of us that do fragrances, fragrances can only go ground as well. I see people skirting by the rules of it. You know what? It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's that way for a reason. But so if you have any questions on that, hop into the community.
Yeah.
And I gotta get started on that. You know what the other thing with shipping was that changed was, if you're not, I don't know what other platforms, I'm going to say eBay because that's the primary one we ship internationally with. There are all sorts of new rules and regulations with Germany, shipping to Germany. It's very complex. I took Germany off my list because personally I've shipped one or two things to Germany. You have to pay to register for a Lucid number, I think. I don't know. There were a lot of steps in it. For us, it was easier to take it off.
the eBay
Yeah.
for Business podcast, Griff talked a lot about that. And
Yeah.
thank you, because I keep forgetting to go in and remove them as well, because it's not worth it to me.
Yeah, and he has the steps, like in the eBay for Business podcast on their Facebook page, there's actually screenshots of the 2 steps you need to take and update your business policies.
Okay.
And GSP does not work with time away. So if you are going away and you use GSP, it will not change your handling time to the date you come back.
Really?
Take that off your listings. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I had it
Yeah.
going. I don't sell a lot internationally. I don't know. But I sold several things before I left internationally, and I didn't have any sales while I was gone.
Hmm.
Maybe
Well,
that's because
maybe
it takes so freaking long anyways.
Yeah, I don't think they figured that one out yet. So just a little reminder, or maybe they're in the process of figuring it out. I sure as heck hope so. Because who wants to lose out on sales while you're away? We're getting spoiled
Right.
here now with this time away and selling stuff the whole time we're gone.
Mhm. I was lucky. I had my mom here. So there were a few, like when I put my website up, I put it on my Facebook and said, "Oh, I'm back up." I hardly sell things through my website unless I'm specifically guiding customers there. "Oh, you bought this from an auction or Facebook. Do you want anything else?" And I handhold them over to it. I sold all kinds of stuff. I was like, Mom,
Help, please help.
she got it all taken care of for me. So,
Oh, that is
So nice to have that
Wow.
backup. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's phenomenal.
I need to teach my mom to do shipping. That's it. I think it might put her over the edge, though.
It
She might
could.
quit. She might
I
quit.
don't know. She's such a doer, though, Libby. She's a doer. She likes to get them done, whatever it is.
She does, but she gets frustrated with the technology. She's really good, but she doesn't think she is. Maybe we'll have to have her on for a pep talk. What do you guys think?
There you go.
Build her confidence up.
There you go. I like it. I like it a lot. So anything else before we close out this episode? You know, we always say with Samantha Speaks, we could talk all day, hang out, just chit chat.
Oh yeah, we only have a few minutes left.
We do. We do.
Mm.
Anything else you want to mention?
Give a shout out to the stores you visit if you were able to visit if you have their names there.
So the one that I specifically visited because of the community was the New to You. It was just outside of Indianapolis. And Gretchen, I don't know her new last name because she got married this weekend.
Ooh, congratulations.
She is in our group. She's one of our newer members. And I stopped in there, and her co-owner runs the shop, is there during the day to run the shop. So I met her. Fortunately, don't remember her name. But yeah, we had a great little chat. They're going to work on going online as well. But their shop is so adorable, and I got a few things there for myself.
Oh,
and,
did you? Oh, wow.
So I'm going to do a little post once I get those out and try them on and shout them out. But they shouted me out, and then that's why I had to turn my website back on, because all kinds of people from Indiana were trying to look at my site.
Oh,
that is awesome.
So nice.
Wow.
I love that.
It was great. Yeah.
I love it. Again, the reason we love this community, it's supporting each other, boosting each other's businesses. Oh.
Yeah, we're really like growing by leaps and bounds. I love being able to know what their business, not everyone's business, but what everyone's business is, and
like being in everybody's business
Facebook page. And you guys have been challenging us a lot to stay up to date on all the cool things that are happening.
Yep. So I'm headed on vacation. I'm hoping to visit I am going to visit places. I am going to find new places. And I always tell people, especially consignment shops, what we do and who we are, and pass on cards. And then Libby's meeting me in Maine, so we have to visit some places together, but it'll be fun.
We're going to have to post in the community where we're traveling and see if there's any sea chatters en route.
Yeah.
En route. Yeah.
So we'll have to update you on that and see if we have any Samantha-like adventures along the way.
You're already well on your way with your shady deals.
That's right. That's right.
So are you going to list on the way, Molly?
Depends on what I source. Yeah. Depends on what I source.
Oh, wow. I'm going to try. I want to try at least one thing. I'm not going to be gone as long as Molly, but I want to try it just to say
You did it.
do it. I did it. Samantha showed me and I did it.
I brought a little travel ring light and I told Molly that I always have a tape measure in my purse. I didn't have a tape measure in my purse. So I had to stop and buy some more tape measures.
You never have enough tape measures, you know?
No.
My husband, I didn't notice until like 9 p.m. one night in our cottage that I didn't have a tape measure, and almost everything I had needed some sort of measurement.
Oh boy.
And my husband's cooler that we had brought had, I'm sure it's for like fishing, and it had measurements across the top.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I was using that for some of the things.
There you go.
Use what you have. You don't need to do anything fancy. And that is
love
true.
it. That is so awesome. I love it. All right, girls. We're going to wrap this episode up. This was so much fun. Anybody that's watching, especially if this is your first time, we're glad you're here. If you're listening or watching, welcome. Head over to consignmentchats.com where you can connect with us on all the different platforms that we throw ourselves on, right? What am I missing?
Join us in the subscribe, join us in the C Chats community. It's a free private community on Facebook.
So much
We do
fun.
offer, private coaching and things through our Patreon. Patreon is a tiered service that you can do monthly. If you're interested in just chatting more, getting more C Chats, it's just not enough.
Yeah, because we like to talk.
Because we were talking about Patreon, and then I don't know, 3 or 4 people asked me, well, what's Patreon?
What is it?
And I thought, oh, shoot, I got to back up and tell people what it is.
What is it? All right, girls. Until
We got to
next
get
time.
Samantha a mug.
I gotta get a mug. We got to get mugs.
We got to
Here's
get
my
new
husband.
mugs. We got
We
this.
do.
All right. Cheers. Thanks for joining Libby and Molly, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we build a resourceful community of collaborative resellers. Find all the ways to connect with us at consignmentchats.com. Episodes are available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. In addition, you can find us on Facebook in our Consignment Chats community. Until next time.